Hi guys, welcome to today's video. Today from the title of this video you can see that it's a big old NATASHA DENONA haul. Black Friday did me a good one. Cyber weekend did me a good one. Everything did me a good one. NATASHA DENONA had some amazing sales on her website Black Friday and Cyber weekend. So I was there. I was prepped. I was waiting for those. I was there. So yeah, today I'm just going to be showing you exactly what I purchased off of her website from the sale. I've only got one regret, I'm going to talk about that later. But yeah, if you're new here, hello, welcome, my name's Meg, and I like to talk about all the superficial things around here, all the things that don't really matter, but bring us a little bit of joy in the everyday grind that can be life. All things makeup, skincare, haircare, homeware and fashion. We talk about them all in some capacity today. We're hauling, we're hauling, we're hauling. So if that sounds like a little bit of you, hit subscribe, join my family, join the circle of trust. And let's get straight into this NATASHA DENONA haul. Okay, where do we start? I bought a lot of palettes, I bought a lot of lipsticks. Let's start off with two palettes that I feel are pretty core in her collection at the moment. I think a lot of NATASHA DENONA fans have one or the other. They're pretty, like, I'd just call them staples in her collection at this point, and that is the Bronze palette and the Glam palette. Both of them are her mini palettes in terms of the smaller size pans. These are kind of the £60, I think 60 or £80 eyeshadows. I think it's the £60 eyeshadow palettes in the UK. And yeah, I bought both of them. One of them's warm tone, one of them's cool tone. So this is the Bronze. I'm just going to show you a few swatches. I'm just going to get up close and personal with a few of them, but you know, you've probably seen these palettes already. I have not. I'm really excited. But this is the Bronze palette. This looks so divine and so scrumptious. Look at that goodness. Hello, welcome to my family. Oh my goodness, look how scrumptious that is. This one right here, Silk. Let's just swatch a couple. I'm not going to swatch all of them because we might be here all day. That's stunning. I also want to do Rhodium. That was a shade I was really interested in. And let's do a matte, perhaps Sundown. Oh my god, it's like liquid silk. Liquid silk, is that even a thing? I don't know, like just so creamy and so beautiful. I really do like NATASHA DENONA's formula. I do think it's very pricey, and I've never paid full price for any of her palettes apart from the Metropolis palette, and even then, well actually my brother gave me some money towards that, but even then I had a gift card away from that to pay for it. I've never paid full price for any of her products. I don't like to pay full price for anything around here, to be honest with you, but this is a really beautiful, warm, it's just a classic, warm, toned staple in my collection. It's got some lovely bronzy tones. I love that sort of thing. I really love colourful makeup and I really like neutral makeup. I love them both. Like today, I've got like a really grungy green vibe going on, and I absolutely love that. Like I love to mix neutrals with colour a lot of the time. So this, for me, would be brilliant, and maybe like a hot pink, just like dabbled onto the outside, or like a bright green eyeliner with this. So I love neutrals, I love wearing them by themselves, and I love pairing them with colour. I really do love wearing all sorts of shadows. So this looks scrumptious. I really want to do Alloy as well. This looks nice. Let's swatch Alloy. Oh, ooh, doesn't that just look so scrumptious? Oof. I did actually forget to mention at the beginning of this video that NATASHA DENONA's website was really heavily discounted. Of course, I didn't pay even near full price for them, but she had a lot of bundles that were where I picked up a lot of the palettes. So these two were in a bundle together, and because I didn't have either one of them, I bought them in a bundle. She had a lot of her palettes, apart from a few, as sort of collections of two, so it was always better off to buy them in two. And there's only one palette, and I'll talk about that later, that I didn't pick up, that I kind of regret not picking up, but I couldn't really buy it by itself at the discount and justify it with all the other palettes that I bought. But yeah, so I purchased the Bronze palette. Like I said, really happy, cannot wait to get into this. And then of course I also picked up the Glam palette, which is the cooler toned version. Again, that really pretty plastic packaging, and inside, oh she's pretty, oh she's pretty. I feel like, to be honest with you, this is more up my alley for an evening. I'm more likely to wear a cool toned sort of eye for an evening night. I think they're really smoky and really delicious. So I really like this. I also love silvery tones. Like I'm a bit of a slut for silver, okay? I do like a silver tone. But the only thing I don't like about this palette is the names of the shades, and I know a lot of people feel the same. I don't like the fact that it's called Centre Lid, Outer Eyelid, Inner Corner, Crease, Transition. I just really don't like that. I wish that wasn't a thing. I just really don't like that. I don't think it would have been so bad if it was like a quad or like a quint or a trio where it's just three, like a handful. But when it's a £15 eyeshadow palette, I don't want to be dictated to where a shadow's got to go. And I think actually for all skin tones, it's not necessarily realistic. This as a transition for deeper skin tones is just a joke, you know? So I don't want to be dictated to, And I know that's probably not Natasha's intention, but in my personal opinion, I just really don't like that unless it's a smaller amount of shades where it becomes a bit obvious and it's just trying to be a bit more friendly to people that maybe don't use makeup very often. Okay, let's swatch some. I'm gonna go for inner corner. Outer lid looks lovely. Let's go for another inner corner, and let's go for smoke. It's a lovely cool toned brown. Ooh, hello. Oh yeah, they're really pretty. Oh, sorry, that was bad. Oh wow, that matte's nice. Let me just go back into that smoke with my pinky. Obviously didn't pick up enough on the finger. I feel like this is an accurate representation of the palette in terms of just a hint of mattes, just to kind of fluff all these beautiful metallics just everywhere. I really, really love them. It's actually a lot softer than I was expecting, to be honest with you. I thought these were going to be a bit more metallic, but I think perhaps when I get like my brush wetted and things like that, it's gonna look really, really pretty. Like I said, I love to pair neutrals with colour anyway, so for me, I could have like a really lovely green or blue pigment and pair them with these cool tones, and I think it would look really, really pretty. But yeah, I don't know, I just really, really like Natasha Denona quality. Like I said, it's not like the best in the market, and it's also very expensive. It's not my favourite, but it is definitely up there with my favourites. I also did pick up the recent palette. This is the retro palette, and this was just so beautiful. If I'm honest, out of all the palettes, this is possibly the one that I'm most excited about. This is so beautiful. Again, it's a similar packaging from the other two. Again, one of her smaller ones. This is just so pretty. It's just so pretty. I just absolutely love a berry toned pink kind of mulberry eye. I think it's so beautiful. It's kind of got a mix of warm tones and cool tones. Again, I really, really like that. I like all makeup, to be honest with you, but I really, really like the purple tones, the pink tones, and the mauvia berry tones inside this palette. I think it's stunning. And you know I have to swatch this shade in the centre called Psychedelic. Oh, it's so soft. Ooh, Rebellion, Glitz, Amara. Oh my good lord. Oh my good lord, are you seeing this? Whoa, whoa, that is stunning. That's psychedelic. That literally is psychedelic. Look at that. I mean, I know it's out of focus, but look at that shine. And then this is the next shade. I think this is Rebellion. Oh, I know I'm out of focus, I'm sorry. That's a really pretty shade. And then I forgot what this one's called. Ooh, that's pretty. And then, oh god, this is such a messy swatching. Excuse my messy swatches, but I'm just like trying to encapsulate a couple of these shadows in like a nice way. Look how pretty that is. Like these two here, that is the sort of vibe I absolutely love. Just absolutely stunning. Really, really lovely, deep mauvey, wine, plummy berry tones with those pops of bright sparkle. And actually this is something that I love as well, and Angelica Nyqvist picked up on this, of what she likes, and she always mentions it, but she talks about contrast in a palette, and when she said it I was like, yes, so do I. Like, I love contrast in a palette. I love when I can get deep and bright in one palette, and this is exactly what this is. You've got these lovely deep mulberry, I'm calling it mulberry, but like that's sort of word that comes to mind, these mulberry tones and these bright pink pops and lovely like really bright peachy tones, almost like leaning peachy berry, and these lovely like rosewood tones over here to transition. It's just lovely. It's a stunning little palette, and yeah, I truly love it. And of course I can pop them all out too, so I'm gonna have a lot of fun with that one. I think she really executed this palette very well, and I think it's definitely not one noted. It's almost like a monochromatic palette done well, in my opinion, because it's definitely one tone of shadow, but it's not one tone and no depth and no brightness. I've got hair going across my face. There's definitely some brightness, there's definitely some depth, there's metallics, there's satins, there's creams, there's mattes, you know, there's everything in one tone or one group of colours, and I really, really like that. I think she executed that palette really well. Shall I break up the palettes with a few lipsticks? So earlier on in the year, I think, was it earlier in the year? I think it was June time. Well, obviously it was June time because that's the only time I'm allowed to buy makeup. I purchased 2 lipsticks from Natasha Denona, and it was just off of like Look Fantastic, I think. They were just on offer or something. I picked up the I Need a Nude 36 NP Amrosa shade, and this was from her Love collection last year, so 2020's Love collection, and I really truly love this lipstick. I also picked up the I Need a Nude 33 NP Noah, again a lovely shade, really like it. So I have been really using these quite often. I've been throwing them in my bag for work, throwing them in my bag for nights out, wearing them just for wearing them. Like, I really like the formula of them. They wear nicely on my lips, they wear down nicely, which is something big for me. I hate it when they collect, and it just, I just don't like it when lipsticks perform weird. These wear down really nicely. So when I saw that NATASHA Denona had some sales happening for Black Friday, and I saw that some of her lipsticks were on reduced, you know, they were reduced, I had to pick up a few. A lot. This one is 10NB Andrea, and the N stands for neutral and the B stands for brown, same as the P stands for pink. I really like how she does that. I think it makes it easy to find the sort of tone of lipstick you want, especially when you like eyeshadow and you don't want things to be too clashy. Sometimes I find it really helpful to know what kind of neutrality or coolness or warmth a lipstick has. I find that really helpful. So her core collection does come in the white compact. This is like proper grubby, but her core collection comes in the white compact. The Love collection came in the pink, and this bronze or nude collection, I can't quite remember, came in this lovely brown packaging. Camera's having an absolute epi fit today, it's not focusing. So this is 10NB Andrea, and look at this. Isn't that just so beautiful? I'm going to try and fit them all on here, so sorry if I'm live swatching a bit funny, but I'm going to try and do some decent swatches but not too big. They also have a beautiful vanilla scent, and it's really lovely. It's very sweet, it's not too vanilla-y as in Vanilla Pod, but you can see it's got like a nice creaminess to it. It wears really lovely on the lips. It's just like a lovely neutral brown. And then the other one was 30NP Maria. Oh, it's very peachy, I like that. So that right there is 30NP Maria. I think you can definitely see the pink. Like, when you have them side by side, you can see that this is brown, this is pink. There's no doubting it, you know? It's really nice, and I love the subtleties between them, but actually it's the sort of subtlety that really does make or break a look. I think sometimes when you put on a pink leaning lipstick with a specific eyeshadow look, it can really clash, but then you go for something a bit more brown and it almost flows perfectly. This, I think, this eye look would not look good with a pink tone lipstick. It would look better with a brown tone lipstick, which is kind of what I went for. Obviously all my makeup that I've got on my face is always down in the description bar down below, so if you want to know, it's always down there. And if it's not, hit me a comment, and it's probably because I've forgotten to type it in. I take note of what I use on my face, so just holler at me if it's never there, but it's usually there. So yeah, I picked up those two lipsticks because I was like, those are probably limited edition and I would quite like these colours in my life. They're really pretty. Like I said, I then picked up 5 of the core collection. I think this one is probably the riskiest one in terms of how light it is, because this is 1B Charlotte, but I thought this was so unique and I just love this. So this is the lightest brown, true brown lipstick that she has. Obviously there's no neutral in it, it is just 1B. Oh, that's really different. I think that's really cool. It's like beigey brown. That is really funky. Hopefully the light isn't shining too much because they're a little bit creamy, as you can see. You can see like the moisturizing element of them, but that is true brown. It's kind of my mum would call it shit in moonlight brown, but it is kind of, and the reason she says that is like dog poo on the side and the moonlight highlights. It is kind of poopy brown. It's kind of poopy brown, but I feel like this colour with a dark brown lip liner and all like blended in to create like a nice ombre lip would look so sexy and so beautiful. And I honestly don't have a lot of lipsticks like this. I am like, classically I have lipsticks like this throughout my collection, like so bad. So when I saw this and it was on sale, I was like, do you know what, I don't actually own anything very similar to this, and I think if I swatched all of my lipsticks out, I might be able to find one that's similar but not quite this. This is very unique in my collection. It's very yellow toned brown. It doesn't pull pink, it doesn't pull like warm at all, or you know, it's just like a classic brown. I think it's really unique and really cool. I then picked up 2B Lyran. This is obviously the second brown shade. Again, just straight up brown. This one looks a little bit more up my alley in terms of a little bit more warmth to it. Oof. Yes, that's pretty. So that right there is 2B Lyran. As you can see, like I said about the warmth, and you can really see the difference. I'm sorry that the camera is not focusing. It's not playing game. You can really see the yellow undertone in this one, the Charlotte lipstick, and then you can see the depth of this one. This is kind of like a chestnut brown. And then picked up 12NB Michelle. So that is 12NB Michelle. You can kind of see that the base of it is brown, but it's kind of got this purpley undertone, which I really like. But it's, again, it's neutral. It would go well with either a cool toned eye look or a warm toned eye look. It would look really, really stunning. This is so pretty, and I really like it. This is the sort of colour that I've actually got on my lips already. This is a Jeffree Star liquid lipstick. It's in my project pan, but this is a really, really nice sort of colour, especially with grungy vibes. I really like this. It's the sort of shade that I want when I don't want a really dark vampy lip, but I want something dark and brown to go with something that's already quite grungy, you know? So this is perfect, and I know I love the formula, so that's really good because I'm growing a little bit old of liquid lipsticks now. I've also got 14NB Judith. I know there's more, I'm sorry, got 2 left. Oh, that's completely different than how I thought it'd look. Yeah, to be fair, actually, if I had to sum this colour up, it would be like a rosewood. It's like a brown, rosy tone. I personally wouldn't call this a neutral brown. I'd call this like a pinky brown, but you know, each to their own. I think this is like a pinky brown, rosewoody shade. Really, really lovely. It's the sort of shade that I actually gravitate towards to on a daily basis, if I'm honest, like for work. It's the sort of thing that just goes with anything. No makeup, lots of makeup. This is a really, really beautiful colour, and it's the sort of shade that I would throw on easily with any eye look, and it's not too scary like this, for example. I probably wouldn't just buff bronzer through the crease and walk out with this lip on, whereas I would with this one. Finally, we have 32NP Susanna. Also, did I even mention that the bullets look really beautiful too? Like it says ND on the bullets there, and it's just like really, really nice. It's a really lovely, like weighty lipstick. It's very luxury. So this is 32NP Susanna. You can definitely see the pink in there. You can definitely see the pink. I'd say this is probably the closest to 30NP Maria, but what is this called? 32NP Susanna. You can see this is a bit darker. So if I try and get a bit closer, so this is Maria, the other pink shade, and that's Susanna. So they look kind of similar, but you can see that this is much deeper than that one. I feel like on the lips you probably wouldn't tell a massive difference, but if you're going for a very specific look and you want a very specific shade, I think this just offers that difference. And also you could probably do a bit of an ombre lip and just mix these two together and they'd be perfect because they're so close in their tone. They're all like, yeah, I could easily mix them all, but those are the shades I got. I got 7 shades of lipstick. 7? Yeah, 7 shades of lipstick. I know that's kind of excessive, but I will use them. I am a nude lipstick wearer at heart. I love nude lipsticks, so yeah. Okay, bringing it back to the palettes. I'm very excited about this. So I picked up the Leela palette. Now I know a lot of people say that they don't, like this is not their favourite palette, and actually it's their least favourite out of all of them. But again, Hannah Louise posted and convinced me of it. She has, I think she has this palette. No, she definitely does have this palette because she picks out a couple of the shades and creates her own palettes, like I said. And I feel like it was on sale, and if I don't get my hands on it, then I might have got FOMO, and if I don't want it anymore, it's a lovely palette for any friend or family to have if I decide I don't want it further down the line. But like, it's beautiful. Why would I not want to own this? You know, why would I not want to own this? It is truly, truly pretty. I am slightly concerned about the formula in terms of what people have said. So I don't know how different it's going to be from her latest formula, but let's just swatch a few and find out. So come on, we have to do some of these purples. Let's do these two here. I feel like I have to do these two. Oh, it feels soft enough. I don't know what these shade names are, but I just picked up them on my fingers because they looked pretty. So I mean, I don't really see what people are saying. Yeah, I mean, they're a slightly drier than her other formula, but like they're still performing pretty well. They're still really pigmented, still creamy. I think it's just because they're the earlier adaptations of her palettes, so there's just kind of like no differentiation of the, not the quality, but the formulation. Like they're all pretty similar. You can see when I just roll my hand there, it doesn't look like a high-end eyeshadow palette, but that shade here it's kind of like a duochrome. It's kind of a pink to green. I don't know why my camera's struggling so much today. I have no idea. I'm so sorry. But yeah, it's just really, really nice, and I'm glad I've got it because I can do a Hannah Louise Poston vibe and pick from this kind of library of colours. And I really, really like the packaging of her original palettes. Oh, like I said, I've got the gold palette and I really, really love that palette. It's one of my favourite palettes. And yeah, I think this is like a really nice collection of shades. I also love pink and purple eyeshadow. Really, truly do. I think this is a really nice palette personally. So yeah, I don't know what everyone's talking about. I think it's going to be absolutely fine, and I'm glad I got it. This palette, I'm kind of like ashamed. So I got another duo pack. I picked up 2 palettes in a duo, and this was in one of them. It's the Circo Loco palette. There's something about this palette I hate, but there's also something about this palette that I can't stop thinking about. And I think, or I believe, again, this is limited edition. Natasha does throw the term limited edition around quite loosely, and when she says limited edition, I think it just means like it's here for the year. That's kind of what I interpret from it, which I do like. I like that. It gives you a good year to think about something, or it gives you, like, you know, a time in your life where you can ask for it for a birthday and it's not going to be out of stock, or you can ask for it for Christmas, or you can ask for it for a special occasion and it's not limited edition and gone in a month. I really like that she keeps the limited edition stuff for a decent amount of time for you to be able to ponder and not panic purchase. So I do think this is actually limited edition, but you can still get it. I just won't be around forever. You know, she has her core collection and she also has palettes that won't be around forever. So I just thought, you know what, you know, I'd be kind of disappointed in myself if next Black Friday in 2022 this wasn't around for me to be able to try. Even though I find this colour story quite chaotic and just like quite messy and a little bit like, whoa god, it just hurts my eyes a little bit. When I see the breakdown of shade by shade, when I see them by themselves as individuals, I really lost over them. Again, this is one that you can depot as well, which was quite important to me. If I couldn't depot this, I probably wouldn't pick it up, interestingly. So I kind of view this as a collection of singles. It's, you know, it's 15 shades, it's her larger palette. I want to swatch this one for sure. Ooh, like when you look at them like this, why would you not want this in your collection, you know? I mean, those 2 shades in themselves are stunning. Oh wow, that's a really nice matte. Ooh. See what I mean though? When you put the blues together and the pinky tones together, or like the pinky purple tones, doesn't it look so much prettier? Doesn't it just look so much nicer when the shades are just less chaotic? When the pinks are together and the blues are together, it just looks neater and tidier, and I just have more creative things like running through my brain. I'm excited I got this. I have no regrets over purchasing that. If it wasn't in a duo and it wasn't discounted, I probably wouldn't pick it up. It wasn't something I wanted for full price. I didn't want it that desperately. Like I said to you, it was something that I kept slacking off and being like, it's the ugliest palette ever. But I knew that the quality would be nice, and when I saw them individually and people were swatching them individually like this, I was like, wow, that's really pretty. So I'm really glad that I've purchased it, and knowing that it's kind of limited edition and it might not be around next year, like this time next year, I feel happy that I've got it and I've been able to use it and try it and celebrate it before it potentially disappears. The last one I purchased, and this was in a duo pack with the Circo Loco, is the Trio Chrome. Trio Chrome? Yeah, Trio Chrome palette. I feel like I want to say Trichrome, which I feel like is possibly the correct term, but she calls it her Trio Chrome palette. Again, along with the Circo Loco, this was one that I wanted to try, but I was not willing to pay full price for. It wasn't something that I particularly lusted over, but again, when I saw people swatching it, the singles, the quality, there was just something about it that I really liked, and I think it's because it's quite different in Natasha's like array of palettes. I think it's really quite nice. The palette looks like this. It's gonna flash green and purple. There you go, purple, greeny blue. I really like the palette. I think it's really quite funky. Again, it's the same size as the Circo Loco and the Leela palette, so it's that 15 pans of their larger shades. Actually, the small one's called their midi palettes. Actually, I feel like they're like the retro was actually called the midi palettes because these are the larger pans. Regardless, it doesn't matter. But this is the Trio Chrome palette. Again, it didn't really spark anything in me when I saw it, and when Natasha released it, I was just kind of like, meh. I don't get very inspired by this when I look at it to begin with, if I'm perfectly honest. But when I see them as individual shades with accompanying palettes, I think that's where the true magic shines. I like this palette, but I'm not completely fussed on it. But I feel like I'm going to really treasure it with accompanying palettes, like I said. So let's of course swatch the 3 Trio Chromes in the centre, which honestly they do just look like duo chromes. I'm not quite sure that they're Trio Chrome, but we'll look over it. And by the way, these aren't going to be the best Trio Chromes you've ever seen, or duo chromes or whatever. It's better to go indie if you want something really interesting. So these are the 3 Trio Chromes. They're actually really creamy, really nice pigmentation. Looks very nice. And then that's just like a matte, just to show you what that looks like. Ooh, that's really nice and swampy. I mean, when I swatch them like this, like who wouldn't want this? Like you can really see the reflect in all of them. They are really pretty. And I feel like this is what I mean. In the palette, I'm just not interested in them. I swatched out, I really feel like a creative juice flowing through me to want to play around with these. They are really, truly pretty individually. I just think perhaps the mattes look very pale and very drowned out, but actually swatched they're completely different. Like this looks really stunning, like in person it's lovely. I can see all of the shifts to it, and again it's gonna be a really good accompanying palette. It's got 6 mattes and 3 metallics in, so it's not very metallic heavy, but it does have those special, I'd actually call them duochromes, not triochromes. I'm not maybe they're trio, I'm not convinced. I think they're more duochromes, but they're really, really nice, and it's just like a nice addition to have, especially if I'm collecting Natasha Denona, I suppose you could say. I suppose at this point I am collecting her. God, that's a path I didn't think I'd be going down, but yeah, they're really, really nice, and I'm glad I got it. But that is it for today. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I hope you've enjoyed my little Natasha Denona haul. I'm really excited about all of these. I'm really excited about all of these lipsticks. I'm very excited. The one thing I was going to say was the only regret I have is not picking up the Bieber palette. I took it in and out of my cart, but the problem was the Bieber palette was, it was by itself, but it was like it wasn't greatly discounted by itself, if I'm honest, so I didn't really want to buy it just for the sake of buying it. And the Bieber wasn't something like that, is a core palette in her collection, and I don't think she'll be getting rid of that anytime soon. I just can't see that happening. It's a palette that's lusted over by many people. It's also a palette that if I didn't get my hands on it, I wouldn't be sad, because it's nothing, it's, you know, it's not like this, it's not different, it's just a bunch of neutrals in an eyeshadow palette, and as lovely as that is, I don't actually need that. So maybe next Black Friday, if she also has other palettes that are brand new, which I'm sure she will do in 2022, I can maybe pick that up next Black Friday. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you take care, stay safe, ring the bell, subscribe, do all those lovely things. Talk to me down below. Do you own anything from Natasha Denona? Did you pick anything up on Black Friday from Natasha Denona? Have you put anything on your Christmas list for Natasha Denona? Talk to me down below about all those things. I love you guys, stay safe, take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.